My name is Fumi. I run Cake Station Canada and I blog at Diary of a Niger Cakeist on Instagram. Today, I want to share some of my struggles, my victories, my challenges as a Nigerian baker who was established doing cake business in Nigeria and had to move to Canada. I moved to Canada in August 2022, and this is December 2023. That's about a year and a half, a year and 5 months. And I want to just share with you what it's been like navigating and settling in as a business person in Canada. The few things I've done, I'll tell you what I've done, what I've been able to achieve, and the struggles that's come with it. So when I moved in, I moved very prepared that I was going to start my business. I was determined to, kick out powerfully. I had all the strategies in my head. When getting here, I met with I want to say challenges. Like there were standards, there were procedures that you can't just start business like that. So I started learning about all the things that are required of you if you want to do business in Canada, and I had to slow down. The first challenge I had was I realized that with my status, I came to Canada with spousal work permit. My husband was a student and I have work permit. So with my status, everyone be like, my focus should be converting to PR right now. And to convert to PR, I need to get a Canadian work experience. It's going to speed track or give me more points towards getting PR. So I had to slow down on my, on putting cake on my head. I had to reduce or calm down on my cake business goals and focus on looking for job. And for some reasons, it's not been easy getting the job. And I'm even thankful that I have this cake business to at least, pay bills. I was able to start my cake business on a low key while I was searching for job. When I got in August 2022, I really planned to work in a cake shop so that I see how things are done here, the products, the brand, understanding the market, pricing and everything. So I got a place to work. I've shared in past videos how I got a job. You can check it. So I got this place to work in the next month. I came in August, and by September, I got a baker to work with. September 2022, and I was with her. I learned a lot of things under her. And same September, I registered my business. It's so simple to register your business. As a matter of fact, it costed about $50. I think there is this owner, I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's OWNR, that has some affiliations with RBC, which is a bank. And when you open your business with owner for about, I think it's 89 plus $50. So when you pay something above 150 or so, after you register your business, they will refund you back. So eventually the amount I paid for registering business was about $50 in all. And I did it from the comfort of my home. I just went online, checked out to register a sole proprietorship. By the way, you can only register sole proprietorship if you're not yet a permanent resident. So I'm not a permanent resident. I can't go for corporation or other kinds of business registration. So I had to start from sole proprietorship. That's just business name registration. And it's a good place to start because it's affordable. You can use it to test the ground. Even if you're a PR, you can start from there. And when time comes, you just take it up. So I was able to register my business from the comfort of my home for about $50. And after registering my business in September, in October, I was able to open a business account because I was coming from a place of coming to Canada. I don't want to make the same mistakes I've made running business in Nigeria. I want to start on a very good note. I want to start doing things the right way. So I was very determined. I did my research. I think I wanted to open a business account, and I realized I can't even open a business account without first registering my business. So I registered my business. Then I proceeded to open a business account in October. Same here that I came in, and from that October I was able to tell customers to pay directly into my bank account so that I don't mix business money with personal money. So every transaction, that every payment customers pay, they pay directly into my business account. You should also open a business email. I did that around the time I think before you can even, while I was trying to register my business, I just entered the business email. So I opened the business email, which is also what I'm using for my account. Then I had my first cake in August. I think 2 weeks after I came in, the first cake I did was a gift, my cousin's son's birthday. So I used that to test, okay, how is things going? How is it going to be like my oven checks and everything? So I did the first cake ever in August, towards the end of August 2022, the same month I came in. And I got my first cake order in October. So that's after September, October. I got the first cake order. Somebody paid me to make a cake. And that was in October 2022. Then from there, it's been referrals and referrals and referrals. I've shared in the past different strategies that I took to make sure that others began to come in almost immediately. Like, I didn't struggle to find customer. My cakes were good enough, and I had my, had different ways of, just getting those cakes into mouth of people. And by the time one or two people eat my cake, it was easy for them to just recommend me. So I've shared in past videos how I was able to achieve that. I never struggled. In fact, I sometimes try to not make so much noise because I don't want so much traffic yet. Like I said, my focus right now is supposed to be PR and not exactly cake. So cake is a side also for now, and cake is eventually going to be the main also, but for now it's a side also. Then for some reasons, I was working with the person I said I got a job with in September till May, June. She laid me off. I was working with her as a cake decorator. I was working on custom cakes only. There are other departments, like people that work on bread, on desserts, on different things, the baker. I was working majorly on custom cake, custom fondant cakes. And she said she wasn't getting a lot of orders like that. And so from going 5 days a week, I started going 3 days a week. I started going 2 days a week. I started going anytime she needs me, she calls me. I had a good time with her. It was a good start for my business. I got exposed to a lot of things working with her, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. And I was even glad that that opportunity came almost immediately. Like, I didn't struggle. It was within few weeks of coming in that I got a job with her. It was painful that I lost the job, but then I think it's had served its purpose, and I was well paid. I don't know if it was well paid, but I like the fact that I felt like I was well paid for the few times I spent with her. And when I had to go, it was on a good note. She wasn't getting so much custom orders, or she doesn't just have need of me anymore. And by the time I left her place, I was already getting my own, people already ordering cake from me, and I was already getting quite busy also. Then in this journey, I've done cake. As the smallest cake I've done, frosted cake I've done, was actually $30. Like, where I worked, we had cakes that's cheap. It was like a restaurant, so we had this kind of storefront small cake. They were really small, flat 6 inches cakes, and they sold for $27. I think the 8 inches sold for $37. They were really flat, like one layer cake with cream, very bakery mass production kind of thing. So when I also wanted to start, because I placed my business on Google, I was getting a lot of people that want to just buy cake the way they buy pizza, and for them it's just something that 4 or 5 people could eat. So I got a few, not a lot. I did a lot of cakes from 30, 50, then I was getting the $150. It was like that. I had a mix depending on the platform the customer is coming from. So I was getting the smallest cake I've done. Frosted cake was actually $30. It's a whipped cream cake. It's a very small cake. And with my strategy and the way I do things, I don't think I regretted it, because I was in my testing period and I was jobless. I didn't get a job. So I usually would have cakes in the fridge. And when they call like that, I'll just slice one layer into two and just frost it. So for me, it was still okay to start with. Of course, I don't do those cakes anymore, but I like that I did them and it got my cakes, it got me busy when it did. Like, I needed to just try different things, and that was something I don't regret doing, even though I wouldn't do it anymore. Then I've sold plain cakes to some people for around that price also, people that just want to like cake testing kind of thing. And currently now my smallest cake is now $120. So I have grown over the months. Like, I just gradually taking my price. I gradually took my price up from doing cakes of $100. Now I start from $120. So I just kept, as time was going by, I was understanding my pricing more and I kept taking it up. So depends on what you want to do. And because I was documenting my journey, I want to be able to tell you guys what worked and what didn't work. So I had to go that low, try different things. So that I can come today and tell you I did a cake of $30, just in case you're also there. There are people that would not, even from the day one that they came in, they already have their, oh, I'm starting from 150. It's fine. But I'm glad I went, that way from very little all the way up. So now I don't even I don't do such cake again, like I said, but it was good while it lasted. It wasn't like I did a lot of it. It was just here and there once in a while. I see people that were ordering $80, $90, $100, $120, but I'm at 120 now for the minimum cake, and I know it keeps getting better. Then the highest single order I've ever gotten is a single cake, like 7 inches, cupcakes, 2 dozen, and I think cake pop, and it was about $450 for the whole package, and that's the highest single order I've gotten. And there are lots of other orders in between, like 250, 200, depends on what I'm doing. Another thing that happened within the 17 months is I was able to attend the workshop with Lima Cake. Lima Cake is like an international, well-recognized, world-known cake artist. She does crazy cakes, like different kind of cakes, and she's somebody that I never would have thought I'll be able to afford a class with her. She's one of those people that people travel from Nigeria to Canada to come take classes with her. And now I'm in Canada. Immediately I came in, I tried, and I saw a respected Nigerian cake artist came to do a class with her. And I had to ask her, like, oh, this person I have reached out to her thinking I could get maybe like an internship with her, and she said she doesn't take intern. I asked for the price for private class, and she told me the price, which was a lot. But within a year of doing business in Canada, my business was able to gather enough funds to be able to afford the class with her. The class was 2,000 Canadian dollars, and it was just for 2 days. And I could say that I think I told myself that was my birthday gift for myself. My business was able to fund the class conveniently. Like, I had extra after paying for the cost, for the program, for the workshop with her. So I think that's one of the major achievements for me. I was able to take a class with Lima, which was worth it for me. It was worth it for me. I liked the experience. I learned a lot. As a business person that will also be doing such thing in the future, one of my goals is to also have organized workshop for cake artists like myself. So it was more than just the training for me. It was an experience in preparation for what I want to do also. Another event that I can say was a very notable one was my first cake accident. It's been a series of months of trying different things. I started with whipped cream, I moved to buttercream, then I moved to ganache before fondant. And one of the times I was working on ganache, I forgot to, when I'm doing double barrel cake with buttercream, most time I don't do the double barrel stacking with buttercream. No matter how tall it is, I just do well it. I don't put that separator board. If you work with tall cakes fondant, you know that you should do a particular kind of double barrel setup to make the cake stable, or firm and straight up. So because I've always worked with buttercream, which I haven't been doing the double barrel dowelling and everything, I forgot, and I set up a tall cake, a technical design actually, without the double barrel, and my cake was practically bending. After you're trying to work with fondant, you keep flipping here and there, and the cake was stressed. And after I finished the cake and it was standing up straight, I woke up the next morning and my cake was already tilting, and it was supposed to pick up. There was nothing I could do. Like, they were going to come pick up the cake few hours, and I saw the cake bending. I was just praying that they use the cake on time so that they can just manage it. But for some reasons, the cake probably collapsed in transit. It didn't make it to the owner. So that was my first cake accident, and it was so bad. Like, the person felt really bad. It was her first time. I was well recommended and highly spoken of. She was disappointed. She felt really bad. She couldn't use the cake. I did a makeup cake. She was still not satisfied because makeup cake was not exactly the same design she first asked for. I had to just do another design for makeup because I didn't want to risk it again. And she felt really offended, and I felt really bad. Like, I'm not sure I've ever had that kind of an experience where, the first time I come to order a cake and I end up not delivering on what they wanted. It was humbling, it was painful. I felt really bad. I felt really, really bad. And thankfully, even though she was not even pleased with the replacement I made, for some reasons, she came back 2 months after to order a cake from me, and that gave me joy. Like, there must have been something that brought her back. She came back, and now she's my very good customer. So that's just to encourage you. There'll be times that you're in a new place, you're trying a lot of new things. There'll be things that are beyond your control, and you just have to be ready. I cried, like, I felt really that was how bad it was, because she was so disappointed. The cake was supposed to be for an event. Imagine your cake collapsing and you're the only baker they got and everything. So there'll be times like that things will happen, and you just can't help, or you just can't serve it. You just can't do anything about it. You have to be strong. So that was my first cake accident and how I handled it. I have my way of recording my order. I have a cake order book. This is my cake order book. I've been using this cake order book from Nigeria. I record, put all the details of my customer order. Then another thing I did was I got an invoicing app. I use Zoho Invoice, ZOHO Invoice. You can check it on your Play Store or App Store and all of that. It helps me to be able to send invoice, generate a receipt or invoice for customer, and it also helped me to track a lot of information about my business. I'm able to tell you today that I have 98 customers. Like, I have their names on Zoho Invoice. Each time I try to enter an invoice, I'll be required to put in the name of my customers. So with that app, I can just go to the app and know my customer number of customers I have. I can tell you the number of orders I've taken. So far, I've taken 135 individual orders, which some of them are 2 cakes. So I can't say I've done more than 185 cakes, but I've taken orders 135 individual orders, and I have 98 customers. So if I have 98 customers, that means some of them came back the second time. I've had people that have ordered cake 2-3 times within the 1 year that I've done business. I've been able to send cake to other provinces, even though I never wanted to do that. But I've had customers that are like, oh, you're now in Canada. People that have known me from Nigeria, and they're like, it's your cake I want. And even when I'm like, I'm far from you, I don't want to do it, they're like, no problem, would take care of how it's going to get to us and all of that. And I've had this particular customer that she's always going through distress, and we send cake to her in Ottawa, Montreal sometimes, depending on where she is, either Ottawa or Montreal. I've sent cake twice to her, and the cake got to her safe, and now I have the confidence that I can send cake, if the customer was willing to take the risk, to other regions within Canada, within Toronto. I use Uber to deliver most of my cakes, or I ask customers to pick up. With Uber, I can just go online and check the price ahead and let customer know, oh, this is the price. Are you willing to? In fact, this day when people come to me that they want to order cake, the first thing I ask is, do you know where I am? Are you willing to pick up? If they say no, where are you? Can I help you check the cost of delivery, so that we first know if that's okay before we even start discussing the cake. We don't want to go on and talk about cake and discover that, oh, you're so far from me and you can't even pick your cake, and we have to stop. So I've done a few wedding cakes, though they're not so big, but I've catered for people's wedding cake, and that's something I'm proud of. But the total turnover, do I want to share? Yes, I want to share. The total turnover so far is 18,800 and something dollars, Canadian dollars. And yes, cake is a side also. I am just starting. Sometimes I've had to take on jobs. After I lost my job with my boss, I tried to get other jobs first, but they are not close, and I'm not mobile, and I'm not ready to go through the stress and this cold in public transport. Most times here in Canada, if you want to go to a place and you're not mobile, you spend hours on the road, and most of this work that I would have loved to do are also stressful. If you're working in a cake shop, you'll likely be standing up throughout the hours that you're working. So if I had to spend like 2 hours in the cold to work and stand like 8 hours working and then 2 hours back home, those are the kind of jobs I'm saying. So I've been looking for a job. I've not been able to get a job, and I'm still looking for a job because I have a lot of spare time. I can conveniently run my cake as a side also, like I said, because the goal right now is PR, which I don't have, and it's like the priority for my family. My husband really wants us to, first get PR. When I get PR, I can even decide to move out and open a storefront. We can make progress from there. So all of my focus now is on getting a job. In case I can get a job, I need a job, seriously, a job that can count towards PR. So it's been challenging getting a job. I felt bad that even though I know what it takes to put my business where it should be, I know I can grow my customer base. I have tested a lot of things and see that it can work. I see a lot of potential with my business, but I can't do them because I just have to settle in first. So I'm just gonna have to keep doing my business on a low key till I settle in. So in 2024, I believe, and I can do more with my business. I'm trusting God for a job that still allows me. Yes, I can. People go to school, do job, and still do cake. Like, it's possible here. I'm not going to school, but I want to be able to work and still do my cake as a side also. So that's a major challenge for me. It puts me like I'm boxed. I can't do my business the way I want to do it because I want to settle in and have my permanent residency before I can grow my business. I'm still open to information. I'm trying to research, and I'll always update you when I get the information. I'm trying to research if there's a way to use my business as a channel, as a pathway to getting PR. I'm willing to take the risk if there's a path like that. Majorly, it's been a beautiful ride, and for me, the challenges has just been around, the confusion of, oh, should I calm down because I don't have PR, or you're sad because you just really want to get a job and you're not getting the job. But aside that, and sometimes I'm overworked. Oh my God, my busiest weekend was Christmas weekend. I did about maybe 10 to 15 cakes that weekend all by myself. It can be very stressful. You're standing on your feet. You're not able to do anything in the house because you have others going out. And aside the stress of the challenge of having to be all by yourself, unlike back home where you have help, you have staff, you have people that would have done the shopping. Here you are all by yourself. You have to care for your family, care for yourself, take orders, bake the cake, decorate the cake. It's a lot. And I think we just have to know when to stop or take breaks. If you feel you're taking too much, you need to calm down. You don't have to. What I've noticed with people that do cakes around there is they don't take more than they can handle. Unlike back home where we just keep taking all the orders, people tell you after taking 5 cakes in a month, like, they're full. They don't want to take more. And that's placing a priority on yourself, on your health, because you don't want your health to fail you. You don't want to crash. You don't want to have orders and you're not able to meet up because you're sick, because you have overworked. So I'm having to be careful and learn not to take more than I can handle. So I'm taking it easy. But besides that, I think everything has been smooth. So if you've learned one thing or the other, if you're new in Canada and you're looking at the things you can do in your first year, I shared on Instagram today that you can open an email, register your business, get a business account with your bank for your business, and make sure all transaction goes into the business account. If you're spending, for my spending, I just write them down. I'm not able to track it with Zoho, even though there's the option there. And even the Zoho invoice I said I use, the invoicing app I use, sometimes I'm not able to enter those things immediately. I enter it in my book all the time. My book is always with me, so I enter it in my book. Then maybe after like the end of the month, I transfer it into my app. Sometimes I do it every week, depending on how much time I have. So this whole invoice, you will be able to do it like without the book. Maybe you're able to enter it for every other. But for me, I still go about with my book, and then I transfer it to Zoho invoice when I can. I like to transfer to Zoho invoice because, like I said, it helped me to just track at a glance. I can check how much turnover I have in a particular month. So Zoho invoice can generate that for you. You can sell your customer base on the go. It's something you carry about on your phone. So even if I forget my book at home, it's something I can just pick my phone and check. So I recommend, you may not have to use Zoho, but Zoho has worked for me. So you should get a app that helps you track such, so you can for instance, I heard that in Canada you begin to tax on your business when you've made a turnover of about 30,000. So I know how close I am to 30,000. I'm already almost at my 20,000, and with the pace I'm going, I'm believing that the first quarter of this year I should be able to meet that 30,000, and that means from the next from 2024 I'll start taxing. So if you have all of those things properly documented, you're ready for whoever is handling your tax because you have done your part. So I enter every of my income in my journal. I don't joke with that. I enter everything I buy. Those are the few things I think you can do and prepare yourself if you're starting business here. So I believe this would help you. I've shared my challenges, my victories. Sincerely, it's sweet to do business here. I would say that because I have people that appreciate what I do. I work with non-Nigerians and Nigerians. I take orders. If I think half of my customers are non-Nigerians, and knowing that my products can fit that market is something that gives me joy. They appreciate me. Sometimes I get people giving me extra money. For managing customer and pricing, just need to be firm. A lot of people from your country may want to take advantage of you and start saying, oh, you're expensive. But if you stand on what you want, it's really up. And I think you should also get a job if you can, because not having a job will put you at the mercy of your customer. You begin to bend your rules because you just need those orders coming in. But when you have a job that pays your bill, you're not under pressure to bring down your price for anyone. As much as you're looking for these cake orders, you're able to stand firm and say, no, this is my price and I'm standing by it. So those are the key things. I love the acceptance. I love the progress I've made. And I know that by the time I'm clocking 2 years, I'll have, bigger things to celebrate and bigger challenges too, maybe. And my end goal is to I have strength in training. I am looking forward to having my own space, not exactly to sell cake, but to host workshop and train cake artists, upcoming cake artists. I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comment section if you have questions. I'll check them. If you have anything you want to tell me, just drop it in the comment section for me. Do well to follow me on my Instagram page, Diary of a Niger Cakeist and Cake Station Canada. Thank you and have a beautiful 2024. Bye.